Welcome to the Seeds of Success podcast, hosted by Dottie San Martin and myself, Orly Rivera. This show is your weekly dose of knowledge, insights, and actionable tips to transform centers into striking successes. Whether you're a seasoned industry professional or just stepping onto the lanes, we've got you covered. Dottie, how are you doing today?
Hi, Orly. I'm good.
Dottie, this past week on Tech Tip Podcast, which if somebody hasn't had the chance to check out the Tech Tip Podcast, it's another podcast that I do without Dottie, but I do have other guests on there that are very knowledgeable. I use that word a lot. I noticed knowledgeable, but it's very true. We have trainers coming on. We have just a bunch of different people coming on, and they're sharing different things that could help you when it comes to, the technical side of your bowling center and just, It's a great show. So make sure to look for that show. But I had a guest, David J, on the show the other day. He's a trainer, such a great guy, comes and does the show quite a bit. And we talked about Lucky Train. I know Lucky Train is one of your favorite things. And he kind of explained a little bit more on the side of how to set up Lucky Train, and a little bit of how it could be used. So I thought today what we could do is talk more about when you could use it. When are the best things you could use it for? What kind of events can you use it for? And I was actually not lucky enough to be able to use it at the center I was at. But I do, I used to work in promotions and I know about giveaways, and I know Lucky Train has to do with giveaways. So yeah, I thought we could cover that today.
Well, first of all, Orly, you know that Lucky Train is one of my most favorite features in the Best X system, right? I have used the heck out of it in a lot of different ways, and it is my pleasure to share a little bit about why I get so excited about Lucky Train. So now just remind me, because I do like to talk about Lucky Train. Remind me ding the bell when it's time to stop, because I could talk about this forever. So Lucky Train is one of those things that's it's graphically pleasing. It's very captivating. You see this train physically go across your monitors or virtually go across your monitors. And so it catches your eye no matter where you are in the center. You can see it. And it also has great sound effects that go along with it. And so it attracts attention to what's going on the lanes. And, we've heard a lot about immersive experiences and over-the-top experiences. And this is one of those things that you can do to help do that. So Lucky Train is a great tool to leverage for, like, with companies, right? So when a company comes in, one of the things that you can do is you can ask them, do they plan on giving any sort of prizes out for their event? And some say yes, some say no. Some may say, gosh, I've never really thought about that, but that's a great idea. What do you suggest? And certainly that's your opportunity to say, well, a lot of companies will do branded merchandise. And so, if you've got T-shirts or hats or whatever, and you want to give them away, we have some fun ways that we can do that. And then you can tell them about Lucky Train. And so it's a lot better than pulling the name out of a hat. It encompasses the entire group. So they're all looking to see if they're going to be the one that the train stops on. So that's a good way. But you can also leverage Lucky Train for open play. And Orly, you and I have talked about this before. We help centers with their marketing and help customers keep bowlers in the bowling center longer and coming back more often. And I've shared this story with you before of in the summertime at my center, we did Lucky Train every hour. It wasn't necessarily always at the same time. It wasn't like on the hour, straight up on the hour, but we did it routinely at least once an hour, right? Okay. And one day in particular, I was walking around. I went down into the bowlers area and was mingling with the crowd, seeing how everybody was doing. And there was a mom and two kids. This was in the summertime again. There with their kids, and mom was ready to go. But the little girl was not, because she was convinced that we were going to be doing Lucky Train again, and she was convinced that she might be the winner. So, of course, that prompted us to run Lucky Train again.
I was just thinking that, if somebody, let's say they have 10 minutes left, and then all of a sudden they hear like, hey, we're going to be Lucky Train. That's where you have a chance to win this. Somebody might be like, hey, let's extend our time a little bit and stay a little longer. So it could be something to keep people in the center.
You're exactly right, Orly. And that's really the way, anything that you have in your system, you should really look at it as a tool to either help you enhance the experience so the customer stays longer or comes back more often, right? And all of these little things that you work into the experience make a big difference. And you stated it so precisely. If you run Lucky Train and they've got just a little bit of time, they're going to extend their stay, right?
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you want. And so those are a couple of ways. And there's a lot of other ways that you can leverage Lucky Train. I mean, I've even done it with like a wedding proposal. That's a little bit more intricate. You've got to really know how to kind of do some things. But we did do it, and the winner actually was proposed to on
Oh, wow.
site. Of course, we had everybody was already paying attention because they heard the train coming in, and we made a big whoop-de-doo over it. And our staff made a big deal over it too. So when we announced that Lucky Train, in fact, I had one staff member that went and found a train whistle on their phone. And they would play that over the microphone that went everywhere right before they started executing Lucky Train. And of course, people got trained to that noise, right? And then they started stopping and taking notes. So yeah, we did a marriage proposal, and that was kind of a unique way of utilizing Lucky Train. But let's talk a little bit about how you can use Lucky Train for leagues.
Yeah.
So with Lucky Train, Orly, we deliver a virtual marketing manager service that we do as a business services team. And we offer all these programs and stuff that we can help customers utilize their system and bring in more business. And one of the things that we have in that little toolbox of goodies and programs is a Lucky Dinner Train. And that is an actual league-based format that the prize fund that's put in each week is used for dinners for two.
Okay.
And those are given out randomly, not based on your skill, but they are given out based on just whether or not you're lucky or not. And that's a great, very, very fun way in which to start to bring in new league bowlers that maybe aren't real good. They don't mind paying a weekly fee, but if the prize fund is always going to something based on skill, they might feel like they really aren't good enough to do that. So they might steer away from signing up. But when you do it something that's random that they do have a chance to do, then maybe you'll kind of get them, into the swing of competitive bowling.
Yeah, that makes sense. I thought you were going to say originally to do it during your leagues, but you're saying it's a whole nother league itself, right? Just with the that's great.
Absolutely.
Because especially if you have a day that you're not feeling, where you're having like a slow night and it's not a league night or it's not very busy on an open play night. Yeah, start that up and get some more people.
And certainly you can also incorporate it into your leagues, and we do have people that do that. And we have centers that use it just randomly for their different leagues as kind of a reward.
Okay.
And I've had some that do like weekends for two at certain hotels and things like that. And they do it specifically for their league bowlers. So that is certainly a way that you can leverage it. The Lucky Dinner Train, though, when if you decide, again, this is a program that we have in our virtual marketing manager toolbox that when we work with customers, this is one of the programs that we work with them, and we provide all of the, all the material for them. But if you are doing something like a Lucky Dinner Train, certainly when you approach the restaurants for the dinners for two, the gift cards for two, always make sure that you're saying, oh, and by the way, we also are featuring your restaurant with this. So do you have something for all the other members of the league for this week? And so a lot of times you can get like an appetizer, or you can get like a dessert, or a buy one, get one for the entire league. And so that's one more fun thing that the league members get to do. And sometimes you can even bargain with them and say, you know what, I need to get two $50 gift cards. Can you throw in a bonus gift card? Or, can you get me the two $50 gift cards for $80 or whatever? You'd be surprised.
Yeah.
And in return, you might even offer to do like a ad on your digital, on your monitors for them. So Lucky Train is just an amazing feature, super easy to set up and so appealing to your audience.
Me and you have talked about this, and David J and myself talked about this also on Tech Tip, how like it's not always just about what the prize is. People just like freebies. They're excited whether it's something as simple as a free soda, a slice of pizza, when I used to work in promotions, people just loved any. It could be a keychain. It could be,
Yeah.
they would come up and be like, "Oh, what are you doing here? Oh, I've never actually listened to the station before, but I'll take a keychain or I'll take a sticker." They just want something and they go away happy,
Yeah, it makes you feel good, right?
Yeah.
Hey, I got that. It didn't cost me anything. And I went in there not even expecting to walk away with this. This is pretty cool. Yeah, I'll give you an example. Yesterday, I was out in the rain. I had to get out. And as I was leaving the assisted living facility with my mom, the director of the facility said, "Hey, we just got in these brand new clear umbrellas, and I would like to offer you the first one out of the box." And I'm like, well, wow, that's really awesome. I walked away with a nice new umbrella. Too bad I didn't get it before I went in and I was drenched by the time I got the free umbrella. But I was really blown away. That was really nice. I walked out of there with a really nice umbrella and I was just blown away.
At least they didn't try to get you to
not
stay.
what you
Hey, if
win.
you stay and become a member here, we'll give you a free umbrella.
Right. Right. Yeah, people are just looking for that little bit of that thrill, just that fun, just hearing, that you're a winner. That was really, or that you've won something. And it doesn't have to just be through Lucky Train, Orly. There's a lot of other things.
Yeah.
We're talking specifically about Cubica AMF Best Sex System and Lucky Train. There's Lane Lotto. That's also random. There's a lot of other things that you can pull out. And if you are one of our listeners that don't have one of our systems or some of the features that we're talking about, you can certainly be creative. You can certainly do something that's fun and add that little level of excitement for your guests. If nothing else, put a sticker on their chair, something simple. But Lucky Train, by far, thank you for giving me this platform to talk about it, Orly, because you know how I feel about it. I mean, there's so many uses and it's so easy and it's so fun when you see that and hear that train go across your monitor. So thank you for giving me the platform to be able to shout its praises.
Yeah. And I think it goes along perfect that we did the other show. So now, if you're listening today and you've never used it and you want to learn how to use it, make sure to go check out that tech tip. And, and hopefully the people that listen to the tech tip will come across the Seeds episode and figure out how they can use it more. So yeah, I think it was a perfect fit.
Absolutely. Listeners, thank you for joining us today. We look forward to you tuning in next week for another episode of our Seeds of Success as we equip you with more practical tips, ideas, and trends that will help your center grow and achieve new levels of success. Remember to share this podcast with your entire team. The more seeds you plant, the bigger the crop. Until next time, keep growing your business one happy customer at a time.